Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And that, I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to summer and you were playing fullback up there, and I saw you in the weight room and watched you workout in the weight room. If you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to recruit you, and our running back coach didn't take the pass. Biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show. That's right, the Martin Houston Show. We're powered by Box Eye Care. That's Box Eye Care, Daniel Box OD, 205-342-0660. Go check out Box Eye Care. They have that great new in-house lab, which means that you have more competitive prices, a greater selection of inventory, and the opportunity to have more great looks. All you need to do is go check them out at their new location down at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive, and they'll take care of you. That's Box Eye Care, 205-342-0660, or visit them online at boxeyecare.com. It's a Monday morning, a Manic Monday. We'll have Kennington Smith III to join us here in just a few moments. We'll break down Bama's big scrimmage, looking at key takeaways, what Kalen DeBoer had to say in terms of the scrimmage, and all that goes with having the coach talk to us about that. Did he give us a lot of information? Maybe a little bit. But when we get into that conversation, we'd love to hear what you have to say. And you can call us at 205-342-9904. That's the hotline. It's open for business. X and I are here to take your calls and interact with you. And, of course, you can always interact with us online via the live stream, comment, react, questions, etc. in the live stream. Love to hear your thoughts, what you're hearing. Did DeBoer say anything, or did you hear anything? We tend to hear a lot more than he says, but did you hear anything coming out? A couple of cryptic words, I think, that I may have picked up from a few of his statements, and we'll see if Xavier and Kennington picked up on those things as well. So we'll break that down as the conversation moves along on this beautiful Monday morning. As I mentioned, we'll have Kennington Smith III joining us here in a little bit. Remember that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone. Be the difference you want to see in the world today. Good morning, X. How you doing, sir?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Glad to have you on this morning. Anything from the scrimmage, any big takeaways, good, bad, mistakes, etc., that jump out at you?
From what I've heard, just the consistency is one of the things that I talked about that I really wanted to see getting better. The maturation is still ongoing of this team and the continuity. Of course, you don't like to hear Jaden Roberts suffering an injury that he had to have surgery on, but it appears to be minor, and he could be ready for Western Kentucky if we really need him.
Yeah, what's his name said that he would not miss any PT any playing time according to coach, and we'll play that audio here as well. I guess the question before we get into the scrimmage, I know we always set Thursday aside to talk about recruiting. Should Bama fans now begin to be concerned with the flips, or is this Alabama team having so much success in recruiting that that they're having to make room because they're going to get some more dudes coming this fall? And then we'll circle back to the scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Jaden Harmon, 4-star linebacker out of Rome, Georgia, flipped to Tennessee yesterday. It was kind of like a quick, oh, there's rumors. Oh, he flipped. Yeah. It happened really quickly, but Bama's still in play for some other linebackers. You never really know right off the bat where it's going to play out, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too terribly concerned right in this moment, but I think we'll see some things play out in Bama's benefit going forward through the season, especially if Alabama shows that they're still Alabama.
Yeah, no, I think that's listen. This is what Bama fans have to get used to. That may have a little concern. Is the following: X is that we've never had this many recruits go all in this fast in the level that we have. We're already sitting at 5 or 6 5-stars based on who commits, right? I mean, based on which ranking service. We have at least 5, possibly 6. We've never had that this early. It's always been a wait and see process, and Saban was in on 5 or 6 5-stars, so he didn't take them, and then he definitely didn't take any 3-stars for the most part this early. So just like we have more recruits in the summer and we have more activity in the summer and this recruiting schedule has changed, I think it's also going to be the same thing with flips and add-ins and all of that. There was a running back that committed on Saturday. What was the showdown for him?
Shy Mills Knight out of Tennessee, who we talked about. He's a former teammate of Amari Jefferson, one of the freshman wide receivers on the team. He committed to Ole Miss, and I think that bodes very well for Alabama fans who have been really wanting to see where Kalen Deere, the number 1 running back out of Quitman, Mississippi, will end up. And he commits tomorrow. And so with Mills Knight going to Ole Miss, I think that is very, very good for Bama as we look to land Deere tomorrow. That kind of lets me know that Ole Miss feels like he's not going to return to a commit for them. So Bama fans, yes, we've lost a few guys the last couple of weeks, but I think tomorrow things flip back in our favor.
Yeah, and I don't think Alabama's fallen anywhere in the rankings, so wouldn't worry too much about that. Speaking of that, Pat, you're in with Martin and Xavier on the hotline. What's on your mind? Is Pat there?
Gonna be with. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, so I don't know if you're gonna be with us Thursday, so we go on and talk about this just a second. But it looks like this could be a godsend. This guy leaving, because I'm hearing that Ty Jackson is now more heavily in play, and that Ty Jackson could very well receive his 5th star shortly, and that that bodes very well for this recruiting class, because I like being number 1 in recruiting. I really do. So if Ty Jackson comes on board along with Kalen Deere, this really, really, really kind of smokes his class, does it not?
It does. And Pat, my schedule is returning to normal, so y'all will hear me again every day throughout the course of the week. But yeah, I think with Jaden Harmon leaving, that Ty Jackson is back into play heavily for Bama.
Yeah, Pat, and we're excited that Xavier will be on with us every morning because his schedule returns to normal. But his schedule returning to normal means that all the college students are back. So for us in Tuscaloosa, it's good for all of us in Radio Land that Xavier will have a normal schedule for the foreseeable future. It's not great if you drive around in Tuscaloosa. Anyway, Pat, what else you got for us, man? We're gonna
man. Hey, we still do not have the capabilities for close to 40,000 students. We just don't. But grocery stores, nothing else.
Hey, and all that.
Yes, sir. But you should have been made mayor. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Don't get me started with that because it's just sad that we've wasted the last 17 years of the best economic engine a college town could have asked for. And for the most part, we have built a whole lot of housing for the students, but have not done a good enough job with the infrastructure and the other businesses and opportunities that could have been created to create more jobs and things around these students.
The biggest thing was all the jobs that left Tuscaloosa and went to Northport, for God's sake. Can we get the third on that? Let's talk about football.
Pat, hold on. That's the other part. I'm going to have to hold you to the other side. But that's the other part, Pat. Tuscaloosa shouldn't be worried about just Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa should be a regional powerhouse for all of West Alabama because we are the center of that. Center of the attention. So we could have done that. Would have built this whole region of West Alabama because we're a bedroom community. But anyway, I digress. I jump off of that as we go to break here. Thank you, Pat. We'll hold you on to the other side. We'll bring you in with Kennington. He'll be joining us on the other side. As we go to break, I want to remind you about the great folks over at North River Timber Company. If you got timber land in West Alabama and beyond, North River Timber Company has you covered. Courtney White and his team have been taking care of managing timberland and harvesting timberland across 4 West Alabama counties, and that continues to grow. They offer a full suite of services, including timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank, so don't let your investment go unrealized. Call them at 205-242-5127 or email northrivertimberco@gmail.com. That's northrivertimberco@gmail.com and unlock the true potential of your land.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, hello and good morning to you on this Monday. We're starting out nice and quietly, as we all should, right? Very early in the morning. And we're not dealing with anything other than intersection slow-goes here and there until we do have McFarland Boulevard at Boone Boulevard, Rose Boulevard. And now that's a little busy on the horizon right now as folks are doing a lot of stopping there at the intersection. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org.
It's the year-end clearance sale at Townsend Nissan going on now. You can save thousands. See BJ or Kylan today at Townsend Nissan, your savings place.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Julio Jones Kia in Tuscaloosa wants to ask you, what can you afford to pay for a new car? $199 a month? $299 a month? $399 a month? Less or more? You tell us. Right now, come see us, tell us what you can pay a month, and we'll do our best to get you in a new Kia. Maybe it's a Forte, a Sorrento, or even a Telluride. We give the highest value on trades in Alabama. Julio Jones Kia off Greensboro Ave. Stop in today or visit us online at buyfromjulio.com.
Buyers must have qualified credit. Not all buyers will qualify.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Introducing Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food.
I have been feeding them Dr. Marty's freeze-dried raw formula for years. And this food is a big part of why their jaws are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful and playful.
And dog parents across the U.S. are loving it.
My dog Hazel is a 10-and-a-half-year-old golden retriever. And ever since I've been feeding her Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend food, she is like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
We're so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee. And for a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Krispies. They're wild caught, ultra crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather not as humid today. The sky mostly sunny, the high 89. Clear and pleasant tonight, the low 66. Tomorrow and Wednesday, sunny both days, highs between 87 and 90. And Thursday, we stay dry, the sky sunny, the high 89. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Good morning. Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. We want to encourage you to go check out Dixie Battery Supply. That's Dixie Battery Supply. You can call them at 205-758-9190. That's Dixie Battery Supply. Whether you're looking to power your commercial batteries, marine and power sports batteries, for all of you who have personal watercrafts, ATVs, utility vehicles, and motorcycles, or hey, maybe you have golf carts. They can take care of you there. Industrial batteries are not foreign to daily operations at Dixie Battery Supply. They provide all of the different types of batteries you need to power vehicle and devices that you possess. Also, we'll be giving you more detail about it, but they also can supply you with those parts that you may need to not just be powered by, but also get around town and around your neighborhood and across the golf course. And it's especially coming around, you might just want to be transportation in and around Tuscaloosa. That's Dixie Battery Supply. Go check them out. Tell them that Martin Houston told you to stop by, and you can find them online at dixiebatterysupply.com. All right, X, as we keep the conversation this morning, definitely lots of the things that we want to get to in terms of the scrimmage. And so we'll work through that. Not sure we were able to get Kennington. We do have him now. Good morning, Kennington. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing well. Hey, we got Pat who held over through the break, and then we have Alan that we're going to get in. So we're going to bring Pat in. But as far as things I want to talk to you about is just kind of your key takeaways from Bama's big day. Couple audio clips that may be encryptic from Coach DeBoer to respond to his opening comments and because to me he said a lot different. He had a lot of different topics there. So we'll circle back on that. But Pat, you're in with KS3 about the scrimmage. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. On the scrimmage, what I wanted to talk about in Kennington, I'm glad to get you back in. Maybe you can hopefully fill us in a little bit. Coach was talking about running backs, and we only had one healthy running back that I know was available. And my question is, being that there was only like one running back available, did that play into why there was a lot more passing going on? I saw where Ryan Williams had another long ball that undoubtedly speed kills, but that my backup to the backup quarterback that had him a long touchdown too in one Dylan Lonergan. Can you fill us in any?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there was something to that. I think the health as far as the running backs was more of a last week scare. This week there was a little bit more of a positive update. DeBoer said that Jam could have gone on Saturday if it was a dire situation. They just kept him out precaution wise. Richard Young was able to come back in scrimmage, so it appears, barring any setbacks, that the running back room is going to be at least the top three guys are going to be ready to go for week one, which is a good sign. But throughout the week leading up to last Saturday's scrimmage, with Justice Haynes kind of being the only guy on scholarship that was ready to go, I do think that kind of lended itself to more passing. I think the other way to look at it is Justice Haynes finally got a chance to get all of the one reps at running back and not have to split it with Jan Miller, which has not really been the case even going back to spring practice. So beneficial for Justice Haynes to get all of those reps, and I feel like because of those reasons, he's probably in line to maybe get a little bit more work week one, just because he's been healthy, he's been there, he's been repping. So it'll be interesting to see how the running back rotation shakes out. So you can kind of look at it from a few different ways.
Let me ask you this: was it that it was only one scholarship guy available, or the second and third guy, or 1A, 1B, whichever way you want to put Jam, and Richard Young not available? Were the other guys?
Yeah, Kevin, as far like going throughout like the week in terms of like, we're talking about like full availability, as in like participating in every drill, not in a non-contact jersey. That was just Justice Haynes. Like even going back to last Sunday after the scrimmage, Jam, Richard Young, Kevin Riley, and Daniel Hill all weren't participating in full like throughout the week. So it was just down to Justice Haynes, but it looks like the running back room is a little bit healthier this Saturday as opposed to last Saturday.
Now, sidebar, Pat, and I'm gonna let you go. If I'm Kevin DeBoer, if I'm Courtney, if I'm Gillespie, I'm going, AK, did you hear what just happened this week? This is why we need you, dude. maybe they were trying to sell that so that the kid that committed to Ole Miss would commit to. But anyway, so you have to take advantage of these things, right, guys? I mean, right?
Right.
I mean, that you just have to go, okay, this is a negative, but listen, son, this is why we need you here. Guys go down in this position, and I think he'll use multiple guys, much like Saban did. All right, let's get to Alan. Alan, you're in with Kennington, Xavier, and what's on your mind?
Good morning. First of all, Martin, I'm not going to talk politics, but I'll tell you this. Being in logistics for as long as I have now, Knoxville, Tennessee has actually they know what they're doing up there as far as the trucking industry and getting products in and getting us in and out, getting us. It is remarkable how Tuscaloosa has fallen further and further behind. Well, I'm going to say the state of Alabama is falling further and further behind, and you're letting Georgia and Tennessee get further and further in front of us. And it's just remarkable how much we get paid more by going to those states than staying in Alabama. It's crazy. And we had the same potential here, but the leadership is just not doing what they need to do to solidify that. for us or anybody else is the industry coming in. It's just simply crazy. And I'm gonna leave that alone right there.
Hey, when we would take and put, we have all this water. Our waterway goes from here all the way to Chicago and to the coast, Gulf Coast. Yet we'll put a load of cars on a truck and drive them to North Carolina to ship out. So just let that sink in. But go ahead.
Well, they take them to the bid in logistics. They will come and get them cars. Not only that, they have the ports. They take them to the port, and the ports are in North Carolina. And where we should be taking them to Mobile, they're taking them all the way to North Carolina and South Carolina to Savannah or to Georgia to ship them out. And this is not something I've seen, something I know for a fact that they're doing. That's simple.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
My
question is this.
Go ahead.
My question is this. Did I see where we're getting a new basketball coliseum, but they're not going to practice in it? They're only going to play the games in it?
It's the reverse.
And as a former basketball player,
it's the reverse.
That's crazy.
It's the reverse. It's the reverse. It is a practice facility, right, Kennington?
Yeah, they're building an extension to.
It's the opposite.
To Coleman. Yeah, they're building a new practice facility, and then they're going to upgrade the current practice facility that's already in Coleman. If that makes sense.
Yeah, this is all about Nate Oates feeling like it's better for him to get upgraded facilities where the basketball team spends the majority of their time in terms of practice and film and hanging out and connecting.
Okay. I do like that idea. I do like that idea right there. Cause I thought we was just. Because I like playing on. When I played, it was. You like playing on your home. Practicing on your home court a lot. Cause you know the sweet spots. You know how the rim bounces. You know these little things. Technically it's supposed to be the same, but in reality it's not. The color of the court makes a big difference. A lot of stuff makes a big difference.
Well, listen to what you call it, because we'll tie this into football a little bit. See if I can find it. Let's tie this into football just a little bit. Kevin DeBoer talking about the kickers. We have two of the best kickers or specialists in the game, but listen to what he says to tie it in, Alan, to your point regarding what happens in terms of getting out there in the stadium. And that's what we have to understand. That's what you're saying here as well. So up, and then we'll both react. All three of us can react to it.
Guys, kind of visualization and understanding, depth perception. I know you should, for all of us, right? You should be able to line up and.
Yeah. Hey guys, let me see. I apologize. I did not have that pulled up correctly. Let me get that to you one more time. So here's Coach DeBoer.
Ready to go. And he just continues to not just kick it, with great hang time and have distance, but, those specialty areas where you're trying to pin people down inside the 10. He's been really, really consistent that way too. Long snapper, got a veteran there with Nealand. Feel really good about him. And then it's been really good for our kickers to get in the stadium since in the last week for sure, but in the last week and a half, they've come over and taken a lot more reps. Just the kind of visualization and understanding, depth perception. I know you should, for all of us, right? You should be able to line up, and if it's a 25 or 35-yard field goal, it's just go out there and kick it. But I think there's a lot of visual things and understanding the inside of the stadium. They continue to do that. On the practice field, it's been super consistent. So it's just a matter of translating that over here. And I thought this week was a step up. Not just today, but in the other days when they've been coming over here and doing their thing as well, whether it's with the team or on their own.
All right. Apologize for that technical issue there, but X and Kennington, respond to that, and then Alan, I think that's what you were trying to say about what happens in basketball as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, and even to add on to the basketball point, the renovation at Coleman will allow the women's basketball program to bring their entire operation to Coleman. So for those who don't know, the women's basketball team, as far as like practicing and like all of their staff and stuff, not everything is in-house at Coleman currently. So the extended renovation will serve the men's basketball team. The renovations at Coleman will serve the women's basketball team. So now all the basketball operations will be in the same facility area, which is a big plus. As far as what Kalen DeBoer said, I do think that it is notable that he's kind of talking about the psychological aspect of it. Obviously we look at kind of football as like more of a physical thing. You go out, line up, execute, but especially for specialists, having like the mental capacity to be able to visualize and see yourself kicking in a stadium versus kicking on a practice field, definitely a difference to that. And I think the consistency that we're seeing in the kicking game is going to be really big. I know we're focusing a lot on cornerback and edge rusher and right tackle, but where would Alabama season have gone last year if they didn't have somebody like Will Reichard and has in his consistency, or James Burnham being able to flip the field? So to have arguably the best kicker punter combination, especially in the first year of a new offense, is really, really, really big. So I think fans should be excited about the potential of what those specials will be able to do and how special teams will be able to affect the game this fall.
All right. X, you have any?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it even at lower levels. I can remember being in high school playing. Our kickers would always go kick on the game field. We didn't even have field goal posts on the practice field. So that's how they got their practice. They'd be down there warming up, kicking when we'd be practicing on the field. So I think it's something that translates at all levels.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate that. And, Alan, other thing I would tell you, there is going to be a competition-only arena built at a later point. But think about it just like Bryant Denny. That's why I played that clip before I added that information. It's going to be the same type of concept. They'll get a lot of rep there, but and a lot of practice in the facility when that's finally built. But for the most part, Nate Oates feels like it's going to help it. And I'll let you guys respond to this on the other side. Baby, you know what makes Coleman Coliseum really an awesome place to play? Winning. If Alabama picks up where they left off last year and Nate Oates keeps this rolling, we ain't going to worry about how big Coleman Coliseum is. We're not even going to worry. I know we want the students in a better place, but if you have 15,000 people there consistently, it ain't going to matter. It's not going to matter that the students are there, because the other 5,000 people that's coming each week will be more noise than the students make. So Alabama would have a huge advantage either way. I know it'd be cool and all those things, but fan experience goes way up when the W's go up and continue to happen in your home place. And Nate Oates has done that. So we'll talk about that and more on the other side. You listen to the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care. Box Eye Care. Go check them out at boxeyecare.com.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, hello and good morning to you on this Monday. We're starting out nice and quietly, as we all should, right? Very early in the morning. And we're not dealing with anything other than intersection slow-goes here and there until we do have McFarland Boulevard at Boone Boulevard, Rose Boulevard. And now that's a little busy on the horizon right now as folks are doing a lot of stopping there at the intersection. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
Hi, I'm Gene Poole. And I'm John Poole of Hudson Poole Fine Jewelers. Show your crimson pride with officially licensed University of Alabama jewelry from Hudson Poole. From elegant Spirit A logo rings and earrings to elephant pendants and garnet rings, our collection shines in a variety of finishes. University of Alabama jewelry from Hudson Pool Fine Jewelers is an ideal gift for any student, alum, or fan. See the collection at Hudson Pool Fine Jewelers, Greensboro Avenue, downtown Tuscaloosa, or at hudsonpool.com.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Crispies. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Accidents happen, and when they do, make sure you've got the right person in your corner. If you've been in a wreck with a vehicle that has a logo on it, you've got to call Stephen Mesrano at 205-800-8000. Mesrano has won cases that have changed laws in Alabama, and Mesrano has secured large verdicts and settlements for his clients. Remember M for money and Mesrano.
If it has a logo on it, call me. 205-800-8000.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code BETTER and get 15% off your first purchase with code BETTER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME deodorant.com, code BETTER for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code BETTER to save 15% today.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports Xavier Houston.
So he'll be able to play week 1. It won't be anything where he'll be out for a game or anything.
And then the update on that, how did the offensive line look today?
Just with I think, again, I thought it was probably the best give and take as far as pressure, but also just really being able to, kind of dig in and give a pocket for the quarterbacks. When we needed some time, they did it. But there was also some times, much like last week, where the defense, got to the quarterback and finished drives off. And a lot of times those are in your third down situations, third down, back to the wall, got home. And so I thought, with running backs, Jam in particular, not really doing anything out there. Rotation with some of those guys. I thought we were solid. I do think our defensive line is doing a really good job against the run.
Over on the right with Charlie.
All right,
Hey, Coach, just what'd you see from the
Kennington and X? We got to unpack that because he was asked about Jaden Robertson, the O-line, and he addressed the defensive line. And he addressed third down, and he addressed running backs. So I'm going to put that on the table for you and X to talk through that, and I'll set it up. First of all, he was asked about Jaden Robertson, the O-line, and he couldn't help but bring up Jam Miller not being out there. Now, Martin being a former running back and knowing what Saban's number one requirement was, and the fact that we had a guy who ended up winning the Heisman and setting the SEC record not play because he couldn't do something. Do we read anything into Jam's role and responsibility, X, in Kennington in the pass game?
I'll let you go first, X.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Jam, I think he's the best blocking running back that we've got, and I think that's going to be a key factor in how this team's success goes, because we are going to want to throw the ball. We are going to want to be in positions to where that is a key factor of this offense. And I think Justice might be the best receiving back, but we all know that pass protection from the running back is something that was huge up under Saban, and it sounds like it's going to be the same way up under Coach DeBoer.
Kennington?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I had a chance to ask Gillespie about this last week, and he said they've been watching a lot of Brian Robinson tape as far as pass protection goes. You know, obviously that was something that contributed to Justice and Jam not having bigger roles last season, because Jason Roy, they were much more dependable in that regard. So it's nice that Justice was able to get a lot more work in that with some other guys being limited. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the first 2 weeks of the season. That's something I'm definitely going to be watching out for personally.
Yeah, and on that, and then I'll switch up. The part that you have to ask yourself is, will the offensive line struggles with pass pro Jam becomes 1A? Okay. If they get that settled and they can put the running back out into the route, not worry about that protection, Justice becomes 1A. That makes sense, because, you know, when I played Kennington, I was a fullback, and Kevin Turner. Now, I was hardly in when Homer Smith was here, right? And I'll tell a quick story against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt blitzes all they couldn't just line up and play you one-on-one, so they blitzed and twisted and stunted a lot, right, to create pressure. And I always had a route in every play call. The fullback always had a route, but our priority and our responsibility was to pick that guy up if they blitzed or came free. Well, we're playing against Vanderbilt, and I told the tackle, this guy's going to do this, and this is what's going to happen, because I knew that I would be wide open, Kennington, because the guy that had me covered was either going to get to the quarterback or I was going to be open. And I knew it. I told the guy who to block, and I will never forget it. I ran out, and when I turned down, I saw Jay Barker with his arm outstretched and his head turned the opposite way from me, because the guy was hitting him in the under his arm. I didn't even go back to the huddle, Kennington. I just ran to the sideline because the coach, he was waiting on me. He said, "I told you." I said, and I told him. But anyway, my point behind that is, whatever happens there is going to determine what happens. I think you'll see a good mix of it. We want to pass a lot, but we also want to be able to have a running back in the passing game, because in the first scrimmage, running backs had several big plays that nobody's talking about when what's name went through his progression. But then, what do you find it interesting? We'll come back to the third down, but Kennington, he talked about the defensive line against the run in a pass protection question. Talk about that for a second, because he seems to really be high on this defense, because he started his opening comments that we'll listen to maybe later on in the program or tomorrow. He talked about the defensive line against the run.
Yeah, I think if you're an Alabama fan, that has to get you excited. And I put this in a story. I put this out this morning about just kind of like a fall camp notebook about what's going on up until this point. The stark difference in the last scrimmage in the spring and the last scrimmage in the fall, where when we came out of A-Day, there was a lot of concern about a lack of physicality in the defensive line against the run and the explosive plays. And then here we are, fast forward to the end of fall camp, and this scrimmage was the most physical one that they've had. Defensive line has started themselves playing well against the run, kind of living up to the expectations that fans had of them in the springtime. I thought it was very notable. Very notable about the stark contrast in how the defense ended spring and how they've ended fall camp.
X.
Yeah, I mean, this team is, the physicality of it is going to be a key factor, of course. But I mean, we things have to play out for sure. But I think it's going to be one of those situations where, when the things come, when it all boils down, we'll see what we need to see from from the key players, because I think this coaching staff is doing everything it can to get them ready and have them in position. So I'm still trusting the staff fully at this point.
Yeah, and I love the fact Kennington, and like I said, he talked about the physicality, and he talks about the defensive line playing really well against the run when he was asking offensive pass protection. To me, that gets me excited. Now, was he deflecting because of the pass pro? I don't know. But I would be more concerned if he had not talked about that several times, talked about physicality. But he did mention third down, and what they were able to do from a pass rush standpoint on third down. We're going to talk about that on the other side. Does that mean that, take these two together, what does it mean for Alabama, Kennington, and Xavier if they're able to be good against the run and create havoc on third down? I'll let you guys respond to that when we come back from the break. Hey, don't forget to go check out your Martin Houston swag. The Martin Houston Show, Love God, Love Me, People swag can be found by going to the Martin Houston website, martinhouston.org, and click shop. And you can get your mug, caps, T-shirts, etc. All of that great swag can be found at martinhouston.org.
On the next Inside the Locker Room with Coach Wimp Sanderson and Barry Sanderson.
Tune in Monday. We'll look back at the Alabama football scrimmage. We'll find out where the position battles are. Also in the second hour, we'll talk with Doug Bell. We'll look at the FedEx Cup standings and find out who's advancing on to the next round. Plus, take your phone calls throughout the show.
Inside the Locker Room, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. on Tide 100.9 and Tide100.9.com.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Monday morning. Trees on houses, power lines left down. That was left in the wake of yesterday afternoon's storms. No injuries were reported, but Hale, Green, Perry, and Foster's area of Tuscaloosa County all reported power outages, upwards of 18,000 across West Alabama, almost 40,000 statewide. Humidity will be lower with temperatures in the high 80s to low 90s today. No rain or storms are in the forecast. Click TuscaloosaThread.com for more local news. Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. We're not doing bad at all. Still a very quiet ride for motorists getting out right now. And you're not going to find so much of a heavy delay, but you will find some stoplights logos at your intersections. Lurleen Wallace and McFarland Boulevard, of course, one of the most popular ones. And then we've also got a little bit of a delay on McFarland at the Boone Rose Boulevard intersection as well. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Ashfest, a great local music event featuring live bands, comedy, and more is coming back to Druid City Brewing Company on Saturday, August 24th. Doors open up at 3 p.m. Tickets are $10 with proceeds benefiting the Tuscaloosa Metro Animal Shelter. Learn more at ashfest.org.
Ask a fella, what do you love about her? And he's likely to flounder and fumble. Words are hard, guys. We get it. And we know you love her. So when words fail, diamonds tell the whole story. Fincher and Osment has been helping tongue-tied gents say I love you for 120 years. We'll help you find something better than 1,000 romantic poems. Something so good, it'll leave her speechless.
I'm Tom Osment, your jeweler at Fincher and Osment Jewelers. Not so easy to find on McFarland, between Edgar's and Local Roots.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
The BMW Summer Sales Event is here, and there's no better place to find your perfect ride than BMW of Tuscaloosa. BMW of Tuscaloosa is redefining the car buying experience with a customer-first philosophy. We are driving satisfaction to new heights with an improved inventory that you can't miss. Now Now through August 31st, enjoy unbeatable offers like interest rates as low as 2.99% and lease credits up to $9,900. Visit us at 3537 Skyland Boulevard East or check us out online, bmwoftuscaloosa.com. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show, powered by Max, powered by Box Eye Care. That's boxeyecare.com. They bring you the show each and every day. So that's Box Eye Care. Visit them at boxeyecare.com. It's now time for the Harvest Church 2-minute warning, and we'll start that off with a little repeat of a couple things that was said by Coach DeBoer. And here's what he had to say. And then, guys, I'm going to get your reaction to these short, brief comments.
And finish drives off. And a lot of times those are in your third down situations, third down, back to your wall, back to the wall, got home. And so I thought, with running backs, Jam in particular, not really doing anything out there, rotation with some of those guys. I thought we were solid. I do think our defensive line is doing a really good job against the run.
All right, guys, take that. He at the beginning of that, he said, got home, talking about in third down situations, this defensive line is getting home. And they're doing a great job against the run, Kennington. What does that say about what this defense is doing in terms of Womack and what they want to accomplish?
Yeah, I think there's been a theme throughout camp of Womack kind of simplifying the defense and letting guys kind of fly around. I think we're starting to see that kind of manifested in these scrimmages. And I think it's also notable when in the context of the conversation about the Wolf edge rusher position and who's going to emerge there, the fact that the defensive line has elevated its pass rush profile has now elevated the potential of Alabama's defense because you can create pressure in different ways. So while outside linebacker may not be fully settled, the fact that the defensive line is playing really well against the pass and now emerging as a formidable pass rush threat makes you a little bit more confident about the potential of that front seven to be able to protect the defensive backfield until they get that part figured out.
X, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at how they are able to move around, fly around, it's hard not to like what you're hearing and seeing as far as the defensive line especially is going. But that pressure up front is allowing the DBs to play more aggressively, go after the ball more, attack more, and the fact that they're playing more of a see and go versus play the man, I think that will be really beneficial to the turnover margin and things of that nature down the stretch.
Absolutely. And to me, Kenan, it speaks to a complete defense. One of the things I've often wondered, why did small teams used to undermanned teams used to run the option when everybody else had gone away from it? Because it gave them an advantage, right? And why do small teams tend to do what I was talking about with Vanderbilt, move people around, slant, twist, etc., because it gives them an advantage. What happens when a team that has equal talent or superior talent does the same thing? And to me, that's what I think Womack has incorporated. But I think we're getting a pleasant surprise, guys, in the fact that our defense is being solid when they're in their base 4-2. And then when we have to move, we're not against our offense. We're not having to give up those plays or those formations in first and second down, and we're able to catch them off guard in third down.
Right, definitely. And it would take a couple of different clips, but I think something else that, at least for me, the biggest takeaway out of the second scrimmage is that it appears that all of the position battles of notice are going to play out into the season. And I think you can look at that a few different ways. Maybe both, maybe multiple guys at a couple positions, right tackle, corner, edge rusher, are playing so well in fall camp that they have to let it play out in games, that they've earned the right to play, or there's not a definitive answer, and you're hoping that game action will reveal who is best suited for those positions. But I just found that to be notable, and that was my biggest takeaway this second scrimmage, is that, you know, when you look at right tackle, corner, edge rusher, other positions like receiver also, the competition in August has lended itself to these things playing out in the first couple of weeks of the season.
X, any response to what Kennington just said? Because I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the competition is definitely going to continue throughout the course of the season. The competition is going to be something that we see, hopefully. Honestly, I'd love to see competition all the way through. You know, keep it coming, keep fighting, keep these guys hungry, and knowing that, hey, I got to perform all week, every week, and if that happens, that this team gets better as the season goes.
Yep, and to me, Kennington, I'll give you the closing thoughts, but you nailed it. To me, it appears that it's because everybody is playing at a level to win. Coach Cap said it about the right tackle position. He literally opened the door last week when he said, if two guys are good enough to play, who said you can't play both guys? And then the board said one has strength, one has strengths in other areas, which tells me Pritchett is probably better at the run game and being physical, and Wilkin is doing better at the Formby is doing better at the pass pro, because he seemed to say there was a difference. But I'll give you closing thoughts here on this Manic Monday, and then tell our listeners where they can find you and what you got coming up this week.
Yeah, to that point, DeBoer said he doesn't think any guy either is a liability, which I think is a good thing. And I feel like you could say the same about the other positions as well. There aren't any liabilities. They're just looking for somebody to emerge as the guy. But the fact that you have options and playable options is not a bad thing either. So looking at it glass half full, I think that it's been a really good competition. And I think the pressure to perform at a high level to keep that spot is pushing these guys to perform at an optimal level. You can find me on Twitter/X at skinny_theathletic.com or The Athletic on your mobile apps, searching my name, Kennington Smith III, or anything related to Alabama football. It's going to be a busy week. We have a camp notebook today with all the updates. Probably going to have a story coming out every day this week, leading up to next week, and we're going to have an official depth chart prediction on Friday.
Yeah, and Kennington, I'll tell you, I don't think that this is the same conversation that we had about quarterback last year. I just don't.
Right.
I think last year Saban was trying to hold on to guys and trying to keep everybody engaged, and he ended up hurting his quarterback. These guys seem to be getting enough reps to keep getting better. Where last year, the quarterback, you didn't have a starter, you didn't have a guy that you trusted as a starter, and you did not create that opportunity for a starter. To me, this seems to be legit competition. And it could play out that I'm wrong in that, but it has a different feel than last year, because I went to some scrimmages last year and I saw that one guy was clearly better than others. I don't see that this year in these positions. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's kind of been a thing that DeBoer's kind of hinted at throughout the camp, is just like guys understanding that, when they're in their moment, they have to perform at a high level. And it seems like everybody's kind of answering the call in that way. So that's what's going to make the first couple of games of the season really, really interesting, is who's going to be able to perform when the lights are the brightest.
Absolutely. Hey, that's Kennington Smith III. You can find him at Kenny _ on the X, or you can go to The Athletic and type in Kennington Smith III. Has great content coming this week. So follow him and get to know him. That's Xavier. I'm Martin Houston. Thanks to all the callers, reviewers, and chats for being a part of the program. Don't forget to go check out athletesthread.com/collection/Martin-Houston. Or just scan the QR code if you're live on the live stream. Remember this: trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding, all your ways acknowledge Him. We got a full show lined up for you tomorrow on a Toss-Up Tuesday. We'll be back for more right here on the Martin Houston Show, powered by Fox Eye Care.